I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A suspect in the shooting death of a local student-athlete has his day in court. John Arking reports.
Marion Gavins Jr. pleaded not guilty Monday to charges of first-degree murder in the April 13th death of 18-year-old Curtis Gray in the parking lot of a Palm Coast shopping center. The plea was entered by Gavin's attorney during the hearing before Circuit Court Judge Terrence Perkins. Judge Perkins then set a pretrial hearing for August 13th. Authorities allege Gavin shot Gray with the intention to kill him after a confrontation believed to have begun after a dispute on social media 2 weeks before. Before Gray died from his injuries, he was able to tell investigators that a man matching Gavin's description was the person who shot him. Gray had transferred to Flagler Palm Coast High School in January to run on the track team after spending 3.5 years at Matanzas High School, where he played on the school's football team. Gavins had been expelled from Flagler Palm Coast High School in 2015 after he brought a kitchen knife to school. He also has a criminal history that includes domestic violence against his mother and violation of home detention. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Sunwing Airlines nonstop to Toronto, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
Flagler County's economy continues to recover from the recession. County Commission Chairman Donald O'Brien has the numbers.
Before the recession hit, we were about $12 billion in total assessed value in the county for property. It got all the way down to $6 billion, and now we're back at about 8.5.
O'Brien says Hurricanes Matthew and Irma didn't help the budget since the county had to dip into reserves to pay for repairs. But all things considered,
the picture this year is not looking that bad. And overall, I think we maybe have about a $1.3 million hole at this point, but that's the starting point. I think we're easily going to be able to fill that out between cooperation between the constitutionals and us.
Property values are also up 6.6% in Flagler, generating more revenue for the county. O'Brien also announced he's running for re-election. The commission chairman, who represents District 5, filed the necessary paperwork Monday. O'Brien called his service thus far an honor and says he's proud of the progress that's been made, but admitted there's more work to do. O'Brien was first elected in 2016 and has had his hands full helping Flagler recover from Hurricanes Matthew and Irma. He pointed to his fiscal record during that time and his steadfastness to keeping property taxes from rising. He also pointed to the leadership change he supported in the hiring of Jerry Cameron as county administrator. If re-elected, O'Brien vowed to bring more jobs to the area and to promote public safety. A routine patrol leads to the arrest of a wanted Flagler County fugitive. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
The member of the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Citizens Observer Patrol was conducting a routine patrol of the Bulow campgrounds. The manager of the campground told the COP about a suspicious vehicle in the park. Sheriff Rick Staley picks up the story from there.
A resident saw something that did not look right, reported it to a COP, and the COP got the information and requested a sworn deputy sheriff to respond.
When deputies arrived, they placed Heather Staffa under arrest on an outstanding warrant. She was also in possession of a white crystal-like substance that later tested positive for methamphetamine. Sheriff, there were several moving parts to this arrest, and it started where?
The community using See Something, Say Something, and one of our COP volunteer on patrol did an outstanding job.
Heather Staffa is currently being held at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility, charged with possession of amphetamine, drug paraphernalia, and is also being held without bond. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
5 years ago, the arts community in Flagler County was not what it is today.
The Flagler Auditorium's new executive director, Amy Fulmer, said that's right. As she mentioned yesterday, teachers are going out into the community, and the community is coming to the auditorium.
That's one of the priority number one as the director, and I'd like to step into, is working together for all of us, because the more arts we have in our community, the stronger our community can become.
Fulmer said the arts is a way to bring everybody to the table to start a conversation that includes everybody. You can listen to the full interview on the Free for All Friday podcast, available on the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler Radio app today. Tomorrow Dance Month is coming up, and we'll talk with Amy Fulmer about that. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.